segment. We discussed a little bit examples also. So this A17 basically in old syllabus, this A17 is a separate topic in old syllabus, not the present syllabus what you are studying. Separate topic in the sense separate chapter, because this chapter is having very much importance. Is given in previous syllabus and all. Even in final level also you can expect a separate topic or a separate problem from this A17. But under the present syllabus it is incorporated with the other accounting standards. Okay. So what is the expectation from this standard? Expectation from this standard is you can expect 4 to 6 mark problems, one small type problems, or even sometimes they used to ask 8 marks in old syllabus and all. There is some lengthy problem that will fetch you around 8 marks. So we will continue our topic further. This is previous class slides. I'm just showing again. So we discussed about business segment, we discussed about geographical segment, and we'll move to the next slide now. So the next thing is reportable segment. What is this reportable segment? What is reportable segment? Reportable segment is nothing but there are some companies like large companies like Tata, Reliance and all. They have more than 100 business in their company. Under the one brand, Tata brand, or under the one brand Reliance, they will have a different type of business, conglomerate business, means unrelated to each other. Such type of companies having maybe more than 100 or 200 different business under the one company name, under the one brand name. The question is, should I report all my business to my shareholders? Should I report all my business to shareholders, or I should report limited business? Should I report all my business to shareholder? I should report only the limited business. So to bring the better compliance, or to minimize the compliance, A17 is having something called reportable segment. Reportable segment means even though you have more than 100 or 200 business, you need not to report all those business to your shareholders. You need not to report all those business to your shareholders. Then what to report? Then what not to report? What I should definitely report? What I need not to report? What I mandatorily report? What I should optional? Which one is optional? Which one is mandatory? So all these things is covered under the reportable segment. So reportable segment means which business is reportable under A17. Reportable means what, sir? Reportable means you are sharing the information. Reportable means you are just sharing the information. Information means what, sir? Information means financial information. Financial information means what? Sales, purchase, assets, liability of that particular segment, of that particular business, of that particular segment profit, segment loss, segment revenue, segment expenses, segment assets, segment liabilities. For that particular business wise, we have to present to our shareholders. That is reportable segment. Then is there any criteria to present that particular business as a reportable segment? Yes, there are criteria. What are the criteria? How to define the reportable segment? That is presented in the below paragraph. Segments needs to be disclosed in the financial statements to comply the standard by applying 5-point criteria test. 5-point criteria test means what? If you have to test all the conditions to finally whether the particular business is reportable segment or not. What are those five-point criteria? That we will discuss later. That 5-point criteria we will discuss later. Before that, we should understand some basic definitions. Before that, we have to understand some basic definitions. This will be helpful for even 2 marks, that 1 mark purpose also. True or false, or even short notes also. Segment revenue, enterprise revenue, segment assets, segment liabilities. All these things are useful for 1 mark purpose. 1 mark or 2 mark or short note purpose also. Okay. So enterprise revenue. Enterprise revenue. What is this enterprise? What do you mean by enterprise? As per you, what do you mean by enterprise? Enterprise means what? Enterprise means what? What do you mean by enterprise? Just share your views. Just share your views in chat box. Enterprise. It's an organization. Organization. Company, sir. Business. Good. So, all your answers are fine. Institution. Business. Good. So, all your answers are agreeable. So, enterprise revenue is nothing but my company's total revenue. Enterprise revenue is nothing but my company's total revenue. What is this company's total revenue, sir? For example, I'm asking you the question. I'm asking you a question. One company is having 3 divisions. Okay, A, B, C. One company is having 3 divisions. A, B, C. Okay. All are under the same company. All are under the same company, but they have 3 divisions. A will sell to external customer, as well as A will sell to B also. A will sell to external customer means what? Third party, outsider. At the same time, A will sell to B division also. At the same time, A will sell to B also. Now tell me, enterprise revenue means the revenue which is sold to only external customer, or if I sell to my other divisions, that is also an enterprise revenue. For you, enterprise revenue means, yes sir, if I sell to external third party, that is also sales, sir. If I sell to my other division, under the same company, other division B, for them if I make any sale, that is also sales, sir. That is called enterprise revenue. That is true or false? Yes or no? Tell me. Yes or no? True. True. True or false? Enterprise revenue means if I make sales to external party, that is also sales, sir. If I make sales to other division B, that is also sales, sir. All the sales I will add and I will present as a sales, sir, in my P&L account. Both. Just share your views. True or false? All of you messaging true all together, both true, like that you are messaging. But do you think that say for example Avin company is there? Avin company, you know Avin, right? Milk product. Avin milk product is there. Okay, they are selling the milks to public. They are selling the milks to public. At the same time, they are transferring. They are selling to the another depot from Egmore to Nungambakam. They are selling. Do you think that this sales is a sale? Whatever the sales made by Egmore depot to Nungambakam depot, that sale should be counted as a sales for Avin P&L balance sheet. Yes or no? Under the Avin company, there is two branches. One is in Egmore, another one is in Nungambakam. Under the Avin company, there is one branch in Egmore and another branch in Nungambakam. Egmore is just selling to the Nungambakam milk product. Avin will say, yes, we made a sales. We got a profit. Because Egmore is sold to Nungambakam. Avin company is produced a huge sales this time. How they produced it? Because my Egmore team sold their milk product to Nungambakam team. So we got huge revenue. This year we made a huge profit. Do you think this statement is agreeable? No, it's not. No, it's not. Sale stock sent to branch. No, sir. No, sir. Then whatever you said true or true, now it's no only. No, sir. No, sir. So what I'm trying to say is, if I make a sale to my own division, and then I cannot claim that as a sales when I compared as a whole. When I compared with my company, when I produce in the consolidated data, I will not say, sir, Egmore to Nungambakam, they sold for 10 crore. Yes, we did a huge revenue. It is not like that. Enterprise revenue means sales made to external customers. Sales made to external customers only, not inter-segment sales. Inter-segment sales means what? Egmore to Nungambakam, Nungambakam to Egmore, Egmore to T Nagar, T Nagar to Nungambakam. That and all inter-segment sales, one depot to another depot. Okay? Understood? Now understood? Egmore enterprise revenue means only the sales made to external customer, not to the other depots, other branches. Just go through the enterprise revenue. Just go through the enterprise revenue. Revenue from sales to external customers as reported in the statement of P&L account. Intra-company sales, that is sale between division or unit, is not considered for purpose of financial reporting. It's not considered for purpose of financial reporting. Okay? That is called enterprise revenue. Enterprise revenue means only the sales made to external customer. External customer means who? General public, general customer, not a related party. That is external customers. Okay? So this is the definition for enterprise revenue. They will ask you true or false also. Enterprise revenue means it includes both the external sales as well as inter-segment sales. True or false? You have to mention false. I'll proceed to the next definition. Segment revenue. Segment revenue. Segment revenue. Segment revenue. Someone is asking, external includes even government also. Yes, anybody external party who is not related to our business. External includes even government, anybody. So I'll come to the topic. Next topic. We are into the next topic now. Segment revenue. What is this segment? Segment means what? Segment means a particular division, particular depot or particular branch. That is segment. So segment revenue means, for example, division A. Division A is a separate division. Division B is a separate division. Division C is a separate division. So when I am working in a particular division, my division is A means I will look at my division only. I will look at my division performance. Transfer pricing. Remember the transfer pricing. Divisional performance. Meaning how my division is performing well. That is what my aim. That is what my objective. So whatever the sales I am making, whether it is an sales to external customer or whether it is an sales to my another division, both is sales for me. As a company, it is not a sales, but for a division, it is a sales. Because anyway, I cleared my stock now. I don't have any stock in my godown. I cleared. My division is fine. That is how the divisional performance will be monitored. So what I'm trying to say is, segment revenue means it is a particular division or particular branch. What are the sales they are making to external customers as well as the sales made to the other divisions. Both are considered as a sales. Both are considered as a sales only. Okay. So why we are studying this one, sir? For solving the problems, this definition is very important. For solving the problems, this definition is very important. So we have to understand the definition first. So segment revenue means it is a sales made to external customers as well as sales made to other segments. Sales made to other segments. Other segments means A is selling to B, A is selling to C, B is selling to A. All these things are considered as sales only for segment alone. For in terms of segment, it is a sales. Got it? Got it? All of you understood the segment revenue? What it includes? What it includes? Just go through what it includes. Direct revenue. Direct revenue means what? It is a revenue generated from external customer. External customer means what? Public, general public or general customer. Inter-segment revenue. Inter-segment revenue means A is selling to B, B is selling to A is selling to C is selling to A. All these things are inter-segment revenue. All these things are also considered as a revenue only. In terms of segment, it is considered as a revenue. Because I don't bother about other segment. I will bother about my division only. What is my divisional performance? Okay. So what is not included in segment revenue? What is not included in segment revenue? Extraordinary items. What is this extraordinary items? Extraordinary items is not normally related to a particular segment. It might be like for example, government grants received. That is a kind of extraordinary item. Not directly related to business and not repetitive in nature. Okay. Then what else? Interest dividend income, unless they represent financial segment. Interest dividend income means I am running a company. I have some excess money in my company. I am investing somewhere. I am getting some interest income. I am getting some dividend income. Then that income is not belongs to a particular segment. That is not belong to segment A, or that is not belong to segment B, that is not belong to segment C. So that is a revenue for a company, not for a particular segment. So that income is also not considered as a segment revenue. But if my business itself a financial company, investment company, what is your business? My business itself investment company business. I have different division in my business. I am getting revenue by investing money. Then that is, in such a case, it is a segment revenue. Okay. Otherwise, it is not a segment revenue. I'll move to the next slide. Segment expenses. Similar to segment revenue. Similar to segment revenue. So similar to segment revenue, segment expenses. Then whatever applicable to segment revenue, it is applicable to segment expenses also. Like if I am purchasing raw material for production, or if I am purchasing any raw material from division B, if I am purchasing raw material from external vendor, that is also an expenses. If I am purchasing raw material from my division B, that is also an expenses. So segment expenses means it includes direct expenses as well as inter-segment expenses. That is what segment expenses. What it is not included? It is not included. Extraordinary item is not included. Refund of government grants. Refund of government grants. That is an extraordinary item. Expenses. That is not included. That is not included under segment expenses. Interest expenses. Whatever the interest paid to bankers. That is also not under segment expenses. That is also not a segment expenses, because I am borrowing not for particular division. I am borrowing for my overall business, and I am using that money. For that I am paying interest, means that is not belongs to a particular segment. So interest I am paying, so that expenses is not belongs to segment expenses. But if my business itself a financial company, my business itself investment company, whatever the interest paid to my customer, whatever the dividend paid to customer is my expenses. Because my business is financial nature. Okay. So segment results. What is this segment results? Segment results means performance. Performance means profit or loss. Segment results is nothing but segment revenue minus segment expenses equal to segment profit or loss. Why we are studying all these things? Because this is what we are going to report. This is what we are going to report under the segment reporting. And the next slide is next topic is segment assets. Segment assets. What is this segment assets? Logic, same logic. My division is A. I have one plant and machinery in my division. I am using the plant and machinery I am using for my division only. Then that is segment asset for that particular division. That is called segment asset. Directly used for my division alone. And why I am using for producing, for process, for producing or for making some process, for using for operational purpose. All these things are segment assets. Directly, that's what is said here. Assets are used in operating activities and also include directly related to operations. Allocated on reasonable basis. What is that allocated on reasonable basis? Some assets commonly used for all the divisions. Some assets will be commonly used for all the divisions. Like take generator. Generator is used for producing electricity. Using for the purpose of producing electricity. Electricity is supplied to all the divisions, but the generator is only one generator. So in this case, I have to allocate the asset on reasonable basis. Goodwill, if any goodwill directly related to that segment, segment A is having a separate, if you are able to identify goodwill for that segment alone. For example, milk is one segment, ghee is one segment, butter is one segment, curd is one segment under the Arvin milk company. Milk is having separate goodwill, curd is having separate goodwill, ghee is having separate goodwill, curd is having separate goodwill, sweet division, that is having separate goodwill. That is goodwill directly related to segment, that particular segment. Okay? And what is not included in the segment assets? Income tax assets. What do you mean by income tax assets? Any guess? What do you mean by income tax assets? As per you, what do you mean by income tax assets? Income tax assets means what? Just share your views. Refund. Someone messaged me refund. Income tax assets means what? What is your view? Just share. Please share your views. What do you mean by income tax assets? Refund. Income tax refund receivable from tax authority. Good. That is also a type of asset. Income tax refund. Good. Income tax assets. Tax receivable from the income tax department. Correct. So income tax is nothing but TDS receivable, or tax refund amount. All these things are my income tax asset. Deferred tax asset. All these things are income tax assets. So this income tax asset, this income tax asset is not belongs to particular segment. This income tax asset is not belongs to particular segment. So that is not included under the segment asset. Then what else not included? Corporate asset. Corporate asset means division A, division B, division C, division D. Milk department, ghee department, curd department, butter department. This will be in a different location. This will be in different location at different places. But corporate office will be in some in the middle of the city or near to city normally. So whatever the asset used in my corporate office, for example, computers, furnitures, building, land and building, all these things are not belongs to particular division. For running my corporate office, I am using all these assets. Those assets is not belongs to segment asset. You have to ignore all those assets. I'll move to the next slide now. Segment liabilities. Similar to segment assets, if I borrow anything, or else if I have to pay to my vendors, I purchased on credit basis from my suppliers, then that is a segment liability. Sundry creditors, bills payable, all these things are related to operations. Or else if I purchase the goods from other division for credit basis, means that is also a sundry creditor, that is also a bills payable. All these things are belongs to segment liability. And it does not include, what does not include? It does not include provision for taxation, corporate level borrowings. So similar to income tax asset, provision for taxation is a liability, current liability. So that liability is not belongs to particular division. I will pay profit for my company only, not for divisions. Sorry, I will pay tax on profit for company only, not on the division. So those things is not a segment liability. And also corporate level borrowings. Whatever I borrowed full money, whatever I borrowed a money, wholesome money, that is not belong to a particular division. I borrowed for a company and I will spend as per my wish, not for particular division I borrowed. So that is also not a liability for segment. So then this is why we studied. We studied, and especially for solving the criteria test. Reportable segments criteria test. As I said, reportable segment means what, sir? I said we have to follow the criteria, 5-point criteria test. 5-point criteria test means this is what that. Just to go through. Criteria 1. What is this criteria 1? Criteria 1. Revenue or income test. Criteria 1. Revenue or income test. So what is the meaning of this one? If segment revenue is greater than or equal to, if segment revenue is greater than or equal to 10% of the total revenue of all segments, including both the external and inter-segment sales, then it is a reportable segment. Meaning, as I said, the reportable segment means you have more than 100 businesses, but I need not report all those business. But I have to definitely report some business. Which business? The criteria test. We have to apply the criteria test for that. If the criteria test is satisfied by those business, means that the business should be definitely reported. Reported means what? Reporting of what? Revenue, asset, liability, income, expenses, profit. All those things we have to report. So for that we have to apply this test. First test is criteria 1. That is revenue or income test. What I have to check means, what is my segment revenue? For example, division A, B, C. Out of these three division, what is my division A revenue? What is my division A revenue? Add all ABC. Add all ABC revenue and compare with A alone. And compare with A alone. If A is producing more than 10% of the total revenue of all segments, then it is a reportable segment. I will work out we will have a problem on this. Definitely we will work out that. Before that, theoretically, I am just sharing the formulas. Understood the revenue or income test? Understood the revenue or income test? Just put the yes, yes, yes. Understood? Whoever participating is physically and mentally present over there. After lunch, it is very good time for sleeping. So I require some additional focus from all of you. Okay. We'll go to the next criteria. Then you can ask me, sir, if revenue or income test is A division is satisfied those conditions, sir, what we should do, sir? Then it is a reportable segment. Sir, if revenue test is failed, sir, that particular division revenue test is failed, sir, what to do? Then check for other test. What is other test? Criteria 2. Result test. You just read the theory. I will explain later. You will just read the theory. I will explain later. What it is, I will explain. I will work out and explain you. Result test means what? If segment result is greater than or equal to 10% of the higher. If segment result is greater than or equal to 10% of the higher in absolute terms between combined results of all segments in profits and combined results of all segments in loss, then it is a reportable segment. Then it is a reportable segment. What it is? If segment result is greater than or equal to 10% of the higher in absolute terms between combined results of all segment in profit and combined results of all segment in loss, then it is a reportable segment. You just tell me what is absolute term. You just tell me what is absolute term. What do you mean by absolute? What do you mean by absolute? Absolute means what? Just message me your answers. Absolute means what? Absolute means what? Absolute means what? Exact and not approximate. Someone, Darshini has message exact and not approximate. Then including decimals in percentage and all. Including decimals in percentage and all. Then any other answer? Any other answer? Any other answer for absolute? Obviously, I think you are referring the dictionary. Obviously, then any other answer? So absolute having many meaning, might be they are in it may be having some different meaning. But for this topic, absolute means what they are trying to say is ignore the sign. Ignore the sign. Sign means plus or minus. Ignore the sign means ignore the plus or minus. Ignore the plus or minus. Take the figure as it is absolute. Take the figure as it is absolute. So, for example, if I add, I have totally five division. I have totally five division. A, B, C, D, E. I have totally five division. A, B, C, D, E. Out of A, B, C, D, E, A division is performed profit. B division is performed profit. A division is performed profit. B division is performed profit. But C, D, E is not performing profit, not producing the profit. C, D is producing loss. C, D is producing loss. Okay. So in such a case, I'll tell you. I'm just sharing this one in your chat box. A plus B, they produce total profit. Total profit of 25 lakhs. And C plus D plus E, producing total loss of I'm just changing the profit figure. A plus B equal to 30 lakhs profit, and C plus D plus E equal to 40 lakhs loss. If segment result is greater than or equal to now tell me in this example which one I have to consider. If segment result is greater than or equal to 10% of the higher, 10% of the higher means which one is higher here? Tell me. In this case, A is a division, B is a division, A is a division, B is a division, C, D is a division. If I add A and B, I will get 30 lakhs profit. If I add C plus D plus E, I am getting 40 lakhs loss. In this case, which one is higher? 30 is higher or 40? 30 lakhs profit is higher or 40 lakhs loss is higher? Tell me. That is my question. All of you able to see my chat box, your chat box. I sent you in chat box. Just go through the chat box. 40 lakhs. Someone has messaged 40 lakhs. Someone has messaged 40 lakhs. Shweta, 30 lakhs. Amostri, 30 lakhs. 30 lakhs. 30 lakhs is higher. Which one is higher? Amostri, profit. We have to take absolute terms. 40. So, generally 30 lakhs is correct answer. Generally 30 lakhs is correct answer. But in this case, 40 lakhs is the correct answer. Why? Because absolute terms means that is the meaning. Absolute term means ignore the sign. Ignore the sign. Sign means plus or minus. Compare the number alone. Now tell me, compare the number alone. Two answer. One is 30 lakhs, another one is 40 lakhs. Which one is higher? Which one is higher? 40, 40, 40, 40. Okay. That is what I am trying to say. So absolute term means ignore this sign. Just focus on the numbers. We will have one problem on this. We will work out that later. So I will move to the next criteria. If segment asset is greater than or equal to 10% of the total assets of all segments, 10% of the total assets of the all segments, then it is a reportable segment. What they are trying to say? Add all the segment assets, then apply 10%. If the particular segment is having more than 10% of assets compared with the total segment assets then it is a reportable segment. Okay, this is called asset test. So I have to compare revenue test, I have to compare profit or loss test, I have to compare asset test. If any one of the tests satisfied means, then we have to report it definitely. It is not like all the conditions we have to satisfy. Out of this criteria, any one condition is there, then you can report that to your shareholders. Then criteria 4, management choice. There are some division where no condition is satisfied. For example, revenue is less than 10%, profit or loss that is also less than 10%, asset is also less than 10%. Still management wants to report that segment. Still management wants to report that particular segment. Even though all the tests it is failed, still management feels we have to report this. They can report to the shareholders. That is called management choice. Then you can ask me, if management choice is there, then they can report all the segments, sir. Then why this criteria? Why this criteria is required? This criteria is required for compulsory disclosure. Management choice means then what will happen? Management say we are not interested to report because it is a management choice. We are not interested to report because it is a management choice. We will not report anything. We are not interested to report because it is a management choice. So to avoid such a scenario, if it is more than 10% of revenue, or if it is a 10% of more than 10% of profit, or if it is a more than 10% of the asset, management does not have any choice. They have to definitely report. If the criteria, if division is coming under below the criteria, less than 10%, then only management is having choice to report that particular segment. So that is called criteria 4. Then criteria 5. The 75 percentage test. You reported everything. For example, the criteria you added for all the segments you reported. Then finally, what you have to do now? After doing this, segment revenue means it includes both the revenue. Both the revenue means what? Inter-segment sales as well as external sales. External sales means sales to third party. Inter-segment sales means A to B, A to C, B to C, A to C, like that. What they are saying is, so what they are saying here is, what they are trying to say is, after reporting all the segment, that is reportable segment, you have to compare the external sales. You have to compare the external sales of all those reportable segment. Add all the reportable segment external sales. External sales means sales to public, not to other division. Sales to public, not to other division. Add all those external sales alone. Then check with the total external sales. Total external sales is 100 rupees. Add all the external sales. It should come minimum 75 rupees. Add all the external sales of reportable segment. It should come compared with my total sales of 100, minimum 75 rupees I have reported. This is additional criteria. Final level, this criteria will be tested. Inter, they are not asking much. So, shall we proceed for the problems? Shall we work out the problems? You got some idea on this criteria. Shall we proceed for the problems? Shall we work out the problems further? Shall we proceed for the problems? You have one doubt. Difference between external revenue and enterprise revenue. External revenue is nothing but enterprise revenue. Enterprise revenue means it is an only whatever sales to external revenue, that is enterprise. Enterprise revenue means it is nothing but sale made to external peoples. There is nothing called external revenue. There is no separate definition. Enterprise revenue only is there. Enterprise revenue is nothing but sales made to external people. External people means public. Fifth point, repeat. As I repeat, once again I am repeating. So reportable segment means what? Criteria. First three criteria, whatever criteria, revenue, profit, asset test. We have reported the segment. So we have reported the segments. After reporting the segment, we have to check the external sales of this reportable segment. The external sales of these reportable segments and my total external sales. For example, my total external sales is 100 rupees, but I reported only 60 rupees in this reportable segment. Then again I have to add more segments to satisfy my 75 percentage criteria. To satisfy my 75 percentage criteria. So I'll move to the problems. I'll move to the problems. This digital board is not opening. Just give me a minute. I'll check and open the whiteboard. Just give me a minute now. I will restart my computer for because this digital board is not opening. Okay. You have to work out this problem. Hello. Hello. Yes. Hello. Hello guys, just go through this problem, illustration 16. So this question is about, we have to identify the reportable segment. We have to identify the reportable segment. That is the purpose of this question. That is the purpose of this question. I hope all of you present over there. That is the purpose of this question. Please go through the question. All of you having the material, correct? Just go through the question. Just go through the question. Don't look at the answer. Just go through the question alone. Just go through the question alone and tell me. By going through the question, you should tell me whether ABCD is reportable segment or not under the segment revenue. ABCD is reportable segment or not under the segment revenue. ABCD is reportable segment or not reportable segment. So A, B, C, D, E total. So first I am applying revenue test. Revenue test. What is my total revenue? 100, 300, 200, 100, 300. Total revenue is 1000. As per the criteria, what is my criteria? So criteria is, what is the first criteria? Revenue test criteria. If segment revenue is greater than or equal to 10% of total revenue of all segments, including both external and inter-segment sales, then it is a reportable segment. In this question, they did not give inter-segment, they did not give external, internal, and all. They gave only one sales. We have to take it as it is. So 1000, 10% of more than, what is 1000 into 10% how much? 1000 into 10% equal to 100. Minimum 100 rupees should be there for each segment to qualify as a reportable segment. So 100 is there, here 100 is there, 300 is more than 100, 200 is more than 100, here 100 is there, 300 is more than 100, all are reportable segment. All are reportable segment under the revenue test. All are reportable segment under the revenue test. So what I should do? All are reportable, all costs, all are reportable. Reportable. All are reportable segment under the revenue test. Then what is the next test? What is the next test? Segment result. That means result tested. What is the result? 40 profit, 60 loss, 90 profit, 10 profit, 30 loss. What I should do in this case? As per our presentation, result test means if segment result is greater than or equal to 10% of the higher in absolute terms between combined results of all segments in profits and combined results of all segment in loss. So I have to identify first combined results of all segment in loss. Profit is 40 plus 90 plus 10. Combined result of loss, that is 60 plus 30. Combined result of profit is how much? 140. Combined result of loss is how much? 90. Which one is higher in this case? Which one is higher in this case? Which one is higher in this case? 140 or 90? 140 or 90? 140 higher because we know. But now assume answer 140, 90. 140 is the correct answer. 140 is the correct answer. Now tell me, I'm just adding 100 more in this loss. That is, I'm making 90 to 190. I'm making this 90 to 190. Now tell me which one is higher. Just for our understanding purpose, I'm making 140 to 190. Which one is higher now? 140 profit, 190 loss. Which one is higher? 190 only higher. But just for our understanding only, I did this. Actual answer is 90. So what I'm trying to say, so 140 is higher. 140 is higher. Then what I should do? What I should do? 10% of 140. 10% of 140. 10% of 140. What they asked actually? What they have asked? 14. Segment results. Percentage of segment results. If segment result is greater than or equal to 10% of the higher in absolute terms between combined results, then it is a reportable segment. So 140 is the answer. 140 is the answer. I have to compare everything with 140. I have to compare everything with 140. I have to compare everything with 140. Minimum 10% is the minimum criteria. Minimum 10% is the minimum criteria. So what I should do now is 40 is for A, 60 is for B. Ignore about positive, negative things. Just numbers. All are numbers. Ignore about loss or profit. Just numbers. 10 and 30. 30. Minimum how much should be there? Minimum 14 should be there. 10% of 140 equal to 14. 14 should be there. 14, 14, 14, 14, 14. 14 is there. Minimum 14 is there. Ignore about minus or plus. Ignore about minus or only see the numbers. 14 is there. 14 is there. 14 is there or not there? It is not there. 14 is there. More than 14 is there? Yes, it is there. In percentage also you can do it. 14 divided by 40. 14 divided by 40 into 100. 14 divided by, sorry, not 14. 14 divided by 140 into 100. 14 or 40? 40 divided by 140 into 100. 60 divided by 140 into 100. 90 divided by 140 into 100. 10 divided by 140 into 100. 30 divided by 140 into 100. How much getting? As per input material. 40 divided by 140 into 100. How much? 28.57. 60 divided by 140 into 100. 42.88. 90 divided by 140 into 100. How much? 64.29. 10 divided by 140 into 100. 7.14 percentage. 30 divided by 140 into 100. 21.43 percentage. So apart from D, all other segment are reportable segment. Reportable segment, reportable segment, reportable segment, not a reportable segment, reportable segment. Understood? Up to this understood? Up to this understood? Up to this understood? Up to this understood? Yes. Then what about the final one? Final test. Final test is asset test. Final test is asset test. Asset test, what are the things? 45, 55, 45, asset, segment, asset. 45, 55, 140, 20, 40. Add all the assets. Add all the assets. We are getting 300. As per our presentation, asset test means if segment asset is greater than or equal to 10% of the total assets of all segments, then it is a reportable segment. Total segment assets la 10% minimum should be there for each segment. So 300 into 10%, 30, minimum 30 should be there. So 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Minimum 30 is there, yes it is there. Minimum 30 is there, yes it is there. Minimum 30 is there, yes it is there. Minimum 30 is there, not there. Minimum 20 only there. Minimum 30 is there, yes it is there. So reportable segment, reportable segment, reportable segment, not a reportable segment, reportable segment. Okay. This is what about this problem. You can expect 6 marks. Can you explain regarding this 30%? What is the 30%? Where is 30%? Where is 30%? You mean 30, the last one. 300 is the total assets. Total assets worth is 300. 300 into 10% equal to 30. Minimum 30 is there for each segment, then it is a reportable segment. If less than 30 is there, then it is not reportable segment. So that is why I am comparing with the 30. 45 is greater than 30. So it is a reportable segment because it is greater than 10%. So we will move to the next question. We'll move to the next question. We have to report the segment. We have to identify the reportable segment first. That we identified. How to identify the reportable segment? Five-point criteria. We have to apply the test and we have to select the segment first. After selecting the segment, next step is we have to report information related to those segments. What information? Sales, expenses, profit, assets, liability of those segments you have to report. How to report that? That is why this question. So we will discuss how to report that. But before that, you should read the question first. 8-mark question. This is 8-mark question. Just go through the question first. Please go through question. I will give you only 5 minutes time. Now time is 3:02. Up to 3:07, I will give you the time. Please go through the question. Giving time for you to understand the question. Otherwise, no point in solving the answer. I can solve just you are noticing, no point. You have to understand the question first. You have to all of you completed reading the question. Okay. So I'll go through the question now. So what happens? There is a company called Lilly Limited, and their sales breakup is given: sports, packaging material, health and fitness equipments, and other business. So they give the breakup for sales division. Sports is one division, packaging is other division, health is one division, and other division is also mentioned. Expenses also given under the breakup: sports, packaging, health, and all these things. Other items means general corporate expenses. General corporate expenses means it is not belongs to particular segment. It is an expenses incurred for a company, not particular division. For a company as a whole. Income from investment is not also belongs to an segment revenue. It is not a segment revenue. It is an enterprise revenue. Interest expenses is also not an expenses belong to particular segment. It is an expenses as a company as a whole. Identifiable assets. On that segment asset, sports accessory is given. Segment asset packing material, segment asset health and equipment, segment asset others is given. And other general corporate assets also given. Other information also provided. What is the information? Inter-segment sales as below. So out of the above total sales, out of the total segment sales, information is given below. This, what is the information? Sports accessory 110 intersegment sales. Packaging material intersegment sales is 144. Health fitness 42. Others 14. This is included in the above sales. That is what we have to assume. This is included in the above sales. That is why it is given under the other information. Then operating profit includes 66 lakhs on intersegment sales. That total operating profit is includes some profit which is actually an intersegment sales profit. Actually, it is not a profit because if we sell to our own division, any profit is generated, it is not a profit at all. So, then information about intersegment expenses are not available. Intersegment revenue is available, intersegment profit is available. Then intersegment expense not required. We can identify ourselves. This is the question. We have to solve the answer. We have to solve the answer. How to solve that? So reportable segment. Reportable segment. Reportable segment means what? We have to report something. What are the things we have to report? Generally, performance of that particular segment we have to report. How to identify that performance? We have to report our sales. We have to report our expenses. Then you will get profit for that particular segment. Then segment assets we have to report. Then segment liability we have to report. Segment wise we have to report. For example, A, B, C. So all these data we have to report for segment wise. Segment A, segment B, segment C. Then total. This is what required under the segment reporting. The same logic we have to apply for this problem also. The same logic we have to apply for this problem also. How to do that? How to do that? So if you go through the question, how they presented, in the same manner I will also present. So particulars. First one is particulars. First one is particulars. Then first division sports. Second division packaging. Third division health. Fourth division others. Then fifth one is intersegment elimination. Why we are eliminating intersegment elimination? Because we want ultimate results. Ultimate result means total consolidated. Consolidated means enterprise revenue. Enterprise revenue. Okay. So particulars. First thing is sales. What sales? External sales. It is given, not directly given, but it is given in the question indirectly. Because intersegment sale is given in the question. Intersegment sales. Intersegment sales, how much is given in the question? Just go through the question. Just go through the question. How much is given in the question? Intersegment sales, sports 110. Then 144. Packaging. Then 42 is for health. 14 is for others. Total sales is given in the question. What is the total sales? Total sales. Total sales is given in the question. Total sales is given. Total. How much? 11,300. Then 1,250. Then 690. Then 325.